Forget everything you think you know about aging spots, because almost everything you have been told is wrong. Here is what nobody talks about. Not the dermatologists, not the skincare brands, not the search results that pop up when you go looking for answers. You have been handed a tidy little explanation. The sun did it, or age did it, and most people just nod and accept it. But think about this for a second. Really think about it. If the sun causes aging spots, why does your neighbor spend every summer weekend at the beach and her skin is completely clear? If age causes them, why does a 26-year-old sometimes have them, while a 70-year-old has none? That contradiction should have raised questions a long time ago. Today, it finally does. What I am about to show you is the actual mechanism, the real reason these spots form, what is going wrong beneath the surface, and exactly how to fix it. Not by slapping on a cream that hides the problem for a few weeks before it comes crawling back, but by correcting the source so it stops happening altogether. I will give you both approaches. The internal fix that goes after the root cause, and the topical option for what you can do right now while the deeper healing is taking hold. Both matter. Neither one alone is enough. Take a look at the back of your hands, or find a mirror and look at your face. You might see small brown clusters, patches of darker skin, sitting in places where the tone used to be even. That is called hyperpigmentation. It was not there a few years ago. Then one day it just appeared, seemingly from nowhere. And the moment you search for answers, every result sends you straight to the same shelf. Creams, chemical peels, laser treatments, prescription medications. What none of those results bother to tell you is why it keeps returning every time you stop using them. If you are treating something on the surface while the actual cause continues firing underneath, you are not solving anything. You are just managing a symptom on an endless loop. So, let us go deeper. Inside your skin, there are specialized cells called melanocytes. Their job is to produce melanin, which is a pigment. And melanin is not a flaw or an enemy. It is a shield. When ultraviolet light hits your skin, when free radicals come rushing in, melanin forms a protective umbrella that absorbs the damage before it reaches your DNA. That is why skin darkens in the sun. That is a biological defense in real time. So when you see a dark patch on your skin, you are not looking at a malfunction. You are looking at your body trying to protect you. The problem is not that melanin exists. The problem is that something went wrong with the factory floor. These melanocytes are supposed to distribute that pigment evenly across your skin. Instead, the regulation inside certain cells has broken down. Some spots are overproducing while the surrounding skin produces normally. The result is those uneven clusters you can see with the naked eye. Now, here is where it gets important. There is a condition called oxidative stress. Picture it as a war inside your body between two forces. On one side, oxidation, the process that causes things to rust, corrode, and degrade. On the other side, antioxidants, the protective compounds that neutralize the damage before it spreads. When oxidation wins that battle consistently, when the antioxidants cannot keep up, you end up with excessive oxidative stress. And excessive oxidative stress is exactly the kind of environment where melanin regulation starts to fall apart. The compound that governs all of this, the master regulator, is something called glutathione. Think of it as the circuit breaker in the electrical panel of your body. Glutathione does two enormous things. It directly regulates how melanin is produced, and it manages oxidative stress at a system-wide level. When glutathione is sufficient and functioning, melanin production stays balanced. When glutathione drops, the circuit blows. The regulation breaks down. Melanin starts pooling in uneven concentrations, and those spots appear. That is the whole mechanism right there. A drop in glutathione leads to a loss of melanin regulation, which triggers the body to produce more melanin as a compensatory antioxidant response. But that extra melanin has no control or distribution. It just collects wherever the imbalance is worst. So the obvious next question is, why does glutathione drop in the first place? And this is where the story gets both more complex and more solvable than most people expect. Yes, glutathione tends to decrease over time. But here is the part that changes everything. It does not drop simply because you are getting older. It drops because the building blocks that support it are disappearing. The most critical of those building blocks is a trace mineral called selenium, is the direct precursor to glutathione production. Without adequate selenium, your body cannot manufacture enough of it, and most people are walking around selenium deficient without the slightest idea because standard blood panels do not reliably capture it. The selenium is not pooling in your blood. It is distributed through tissue, which means a specialized test is required to detect the deficiency, and almost nobody orders it. Selenium does far more than support glutathione. It is deeply involved in immune function. It is essential to thyroid health, specifically in converting the inactive thyroid hormone T4 into the active form T3 your body can actually use. It plays a significant protective role against autoimmune disease, particularly Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and it is so central to immune function that selenium deficiency is found in nearly every AIDS patient studied. The body depletes it trying to fight. The reason so many people are deficient comes down to the ground we grow food in. Modern farming practices have stripped selenium from soil at a massive scale. Only 3 minerals are routinely returned to farmland after harvest, and selenium is not one of them. Beyond that, glyphosate, the herbicide applied to a significant portion of commercial crops, further depletes selenium from the soil where it lands. The food grows. The selenium does not come with it. The simplest fix available is 2 Brazil nuts a day. Just 2. That single habit provides your daily selenium requirement. Shellfish, particularly oysters, are another reliable source worth including if you eat them. The second major factor in glutathione production is protein quality. Specifically, high-quality animal protein. Over the past several years, a significant number of people have shifted toward plant-based proteins for various reasons. But plant protein does not deliver the complete amino acid profile that glutathione synthesis depends on. If you have made that shift, your glutathione levels have likely suffered for it. Returning to quality animal sources, eggs, fish, and meat, gives your body the raw materials it actually needs. Collagen is another piece of this that most people overlook, because modern preferences lean toward tender lean cuts. The parts of the animal that are richest in collagen, the skin, the connective tissue, the bones, rarely make it to the plate. If you are not regularly eating skin-on chicken or skin-on fish, adding a quality collagen powder to your morning coffee or a daily supplement is worth considering. Not primarily for joint support, though that is a real benefit too, but specifically to give your glutathione production what it needs. There is another piece of this that directly affects women. Estrogen functions as a natural antioxidant in the body. It protects DNA. It reduces systemic oxidative stress. It effectively supports glutathione activity. This is actually one reason women statistically outlive men. They carry that extra layer of antioxidant protection for decades. But when menopause arrives and estrogen begins to fall, that protection goes with it. The body's demand for glutathione increases at the same time its support system is shrinking. This is the exact mechanism behind why women so commonly develop these spots following menopause. It is not aging. It is a specific biochemical shift with a specific explanation. Chronic stress is the next drain on your glutathione reserves, and this deserves more clarity than the word stress usually gets. This is not only about the weight of worry or anxiety. Physical stress counts just as much. Pushing through intense training without adequate recovery, accumulating sleep debt, pushing your body past what rest can repair. All of that increases your glutathione demand dramatically. Add to that the long-term impact of a diet high in refined carbohydrates, frequent snacking, processed foods, and junk. All of it generates a continuous oxidative burden that consumes glutathione faster than most people can replenish it. There is one more element in this puzzle. Copper. Copper is a trace mineral that plays a direct role in how melanin is produced, and melanin production can go wrong whether you have too much of it or not enough. The regulating factor for copper balance is zinc. Zinc and copper work in opposition within the body. When zinc is deficient, copper tends to run high. When zinc is too high, copper can run low. For many people, supplementing zinc helps correct this ratio in a direction that stabilizes melanin production. A trace mineral supplement that contains both, in balanced proportion, addresses the problem from both angles simultaneously. The ratio matters more than the individual quantities. Correct the glutathione deficiency by addressing selenium, protein quality, collagen, stress load, and diet. Correct the copper-zinc ratio. Address the estrogen piece, if it applies to you. Do all of that, and the internal environment that was generating these spots in the first place begins to normalize. These spots do not live on the outermost layer of your skin. They sit deeper, in a layer that the body replaces on its own cycle. Give this process 30 days to 6 weeks. That is the realistic timeline for visible and meaningful improvement. Within that window, you will likely notice the spots beginning to fade, the evenness returning gradually, the correction that no cream was ever going to provide sustainably. Now, while that internal process is underway, there is something you can do on the surface that actually makes sense. A high-quality vitamin C serum applied directly to the affected areas is genuinely useful. Vitamin C supports glutathione regulation topically and, from what is known so far, carries no meaningful side effects when used on skin. It is not correcting the root cause, but it works on the surface while the deeper correction is building. Use both together. Do not choose one and skip the other. The topical helps now. The internal fix ensures it does not return. One final thing, and this genuinely matters. This entire conversation has been about pigment, and pigment responds to sunlight. It is very easy to walk away from a video like this, thinking you should simply avoid the sun. That would be a mistake. Sun exposure has real and significant benefits to human health that most people are never told about. The relationship between your skin and sunlight is not a simple danger equation. For that full picture, the video coming up next is exactly where you need to go.